Hi everyone, welcome to a rapid fire Monday market update. I'm Sam, head analyst here at CCI. Let's crack straight in. I'm looking at potential turbulence coming in the markets in the next 7 days. Now, while markets have been incredibly good at pricing in the Federal Reserve's rising of interest rates, and we've just had the pause recently, this is telling us, the CME futures is telling us there's a 96.1% probability the Fed is going to raise interest rates again. So they've paused and now they're actually going to raise again. So stop, start sort of action on the 26th of July. We just have to be very aware of this in about 7 days' time that this is likely going to hit. So this could put a bit of a dampener on the runaway NASDAQ, S&P 500, and of course, Bitcoin's attempts to breach 32,000. So there could be some overhead selling coming in over this next week. So just be aware of that. I want to put it on your radar. Okay, over to Bitcoin. This is really fascinating to me because sentiment market psychology is very, very fascinating. We just pop on over to the Bitcoin chart, and I'm going to go to the 4-hour here. You can see very, very clearly that Bitcoin is just shopping. It's in a very clearly defined range. You can see here up here, everyone's calling for 32,000, 40,000. So once 32,000 gets taken up here, everyone's calling for 40,000. So you hear moonshots up here on Twitter. And when Bitcoin is chopping down here and wicking, it's going to 25,000, 20,000. So really interesting sentiment dynamic here when Bitcoin really has done nothing. It's proven itself, nothing rather, hasn't breached up, hasn't breached down. So wait for confirmation on the upside and the downside. Very amusing, but yeah, Bitcoin, unless it breaches 30,000, then we know it's going lower. And unless we see it breach 32,000, we know it's going higher once that happens. So until then, it's chopping until proven otherwise. So right now it's down here at the lower end of the range. It looks like it wants to go back up. So very interesting. If we just look on over the fear and greed index, where is it? It's just chopping right in the middle. So very interesting that, people really aren't panicking just overall. Market sentiment is actually quite neutral. It's right in the middle. But if you look on Twitter, you look in the Facebook groups and you look at all that, all I'm hearing is when we're at the low of the range, it's all over. We're at the top of the range. It's moonshot. We're going crazy. So look, sentiment is a killer. You just got to watch that and hope that you're not getting caught up in that shorter term mindset. All right, let's position over to, and this was me typing into Bard about optimism because it's something I'm watching right now because optimism and Arbitrum are both moving higher. And I wanted to look for why that was. And Bard gave me some really good answers. And if you're not using AI to really make your fundamental analysis a bit more efficient, you can do it. So Bard's really, really helpful. It's given me literally 3 dot points for me exactly why there has been more positive sentiment around optimism. But if I go to Layer 2 Beat, which is a great website that shows you the total value locked away and a lot of interest in the actual network, you can just see the optimism over, is this over a certain amount of time? Just trying to work that out. TVL. Okay, 7 days. So 16% over a week. The total value locked away on the optimism network is up that amount, 16%, Arbitrum 7%. So that is really, really positive. Show that there's a lot of interest in moving capital onto these layer 2s. So yeah, really, really like that. I think as well, what was it over here, Bard? Also saw an increase in the number of unique addresses interacting with optimism increased over 500% since the beginning of the year. So lots of interesting things happening for optimism. And you can just see it in the price actions just moving higher here. Really like the look of this, like the look of Arbitrum. They are getting a little bit overheated in terms of the technicals, but I really, really like these pullback zones in these kind of areas if you're looking to get in. It just looks like things are just overheating a little bit, but broadly, the top 2 layer 2s appear like they are just, setting the trend versus everything else. And you see Matisse, we had in our newsletter portfolio for a while. It looks dead in the water. It's down 1.1 to 3%, and some rumors coming out about that chain that isn't overly encouraging. So obviously we dropped that a while ago. You really have to, at this point, you were watching a lot of these speculative assets as they come through and try and build. It's a competition for market share. And right now, Arbitrum 60%, Optimism 24%. You really can't go beyond those 2 at this stage. I'm not sure if that's going to change either. And also just putting on your radar, guys, we are 16 days away from a Litecoin reward halving. This is a really good test case, really good example, potentially that, the buy the rumor, sell the news playing out perfectly. So we looked at Litecoin a while ago, had some really amazing pumps from, support up to highs and whatnot. But the Litecoin pumps into the halving have generally topped out about 50 days before the halving, but we had an extra pump leading into it. We haven't really had that explosive move, to 150, 200, which we're used to seeing the year before the Bitcoin halving. So just fascinating to see if this one plays out differently to history, or it's probably done its dash and now it's starting to consolidate. But what I'm noticing is, in this broader ascending triangle, Litecoin coming back down and retesting its 200 moving average on the 4-hour with a bull divergence down here. Very, very interesting. So that's where the price action is actually making a lower low, but the RSI is telling us that the bulls are gaining strength. So very interesting. Are we going to have a move in Litecoin in the next 16 days? We will wait and see. Guys, hope you've enjoyed this rapid fire. We'll catch you again next time.